The Masterclass initiative is truly pleased to bring this to you. You have come to expect from us very impactful and insightful sessions, and today is no exception. We sincerely thank our partners, especially Africunia TV, for enabling us to be able to stream this to you on the different social media platforms. What makes this a special day today? Because we have a wonderful speaker with us today, Lisa Jones, all the way from Richmond in the USA. She is CEO of Now Lead and a published author as well. And she will be talking to us about staff motivation and impact on productivity. So over the next 2 hours, what we're going to have is a 1-hour presentation by Lisa on this particular topic. And then we will have a 30-minute Q&A session where you, our participants, will have an opportunity to pose your questions to Lisa. So please prepare those questions in advance, listen carefully during the presentation, type them out in the chat, raise your hand if you'd like to ask a direct question to Lisa, and also mention your name so she can, she can speak to you directly. Before we do this, we want to have a quick commercial break, and please follow us on all our social media platforms to be able to not only watch the session, but to know about future sessions as well. So a quick commercial break, and right after the break, I'm going to be introducing to you the wonderful Lisa Jones.
Have you realized how many people are earning millions in the cryptocurrency business? Did you know you could be one of those people? You sure can be, and there's more. The cryptocurrency market is still very new, and there's a huge potential to be successful even if you don't have any experience or weren't aware of the existence of cryptocurrency until now. If you're seriously thinking about your financial future and your financial freedom, now is the time to pay attention, because Afcash is here to simplify the cryptocurrency market for you. First, you may be asking, what is Afcash? Afcash is a type of virtual currency. It is a digital currency owned by Africunia Bank, and it's based on cryptography and created through a process called mining. Just like the serial number on a paper bill, each Afcash digital coin is unique. Unlike money issued by governments, there's a finite number of Afcash, ensuring they cannot be affected by inflation and are impossible to counterfeit, because Afcash cryptocurrency is not tied to any particular country or central bank. The value of your coin depends on factors such as usability, demand, and supply. When joining Afcash, you become part of our global network of Ashcash traders and exchangers, and you will be able to choose among different ways to use your Afcash. You can trade the coin and benefit from its value. You will also be able to make payments and transfer money to and from any part of the world in seconds at a very low transaction fee using our blockchain technology. The fact is, Afcash is the money of the future. It represents freedom of payment. It gives you control and many more advantages. Transparent information, customer anonymity, no risk, purchases are not taxed. Afcash is tradable and exchangeable with other cryptocurrencies and fiat currencies. In the cryptocurrency world, very low transaction fees are a reality. And your next question might be, how do I get Afcash? In traditional fiat money systems, governments simply create money when they need to, leading to inflation. But in the cryptocurrency universe, money isn't printed at all. It's mined. Computers around the world are mining coins. Miners run specialized software on high-powered computers to solve complex mathematical puzzles. We are investing in the best available software and hardware to stay on top of all of the technology. So, if you are interested in mining, we have an even easier solution for you to start mining. No need to assemble rigs or have hot, loud computers at home. You can easily mine Afcash from the comfort of your web browser, and you can start making profits today. Everything's already set up for you. As soon as you join us, you can start mining and start earning your Afcash coins. A year from now, you'd wish you'd started today. If you want to know more, please check out our website at www.africunia.org or join us on Facebook or Telegram.
And we are back from that commercial break. I'm excited to now introduce Lisa, and just a few house rules before I do that. We will be recording the session, and it will be then, available for you on our YouTube channels, on Facebook. If you want to be able to share it with your colleagues, your peers, we welcome you to do that. So we will be recording the session. All microphones will be muted during this time, apart from Lisa's and myself, so that we don't allow any interruption and the flow of conversation is smooth. And again, I want to reiterate, please follow us on the different social media platforms, because you'll get to know much, much more. And now I want to turn and introduce to you the wonderful Lisa Jones. As I said earlier on, she is the CEO of Now Lead, which is a training and coaching consultancy based in the US. Prior to establishing Now Lead, Lisa has had a wonderful, successful corporate career in corporate America, with some 500, Fortune 500 companies. So if you know, that is a big deal. It means she's worked with some of the best companies in the world. And she then established Now Lead to be able to support middle management leadership, to be able to develop their capabilities in being able to coach and develop high performing teams. So Lisa, we're so pleased you could be with us today. And I know that success runs in the family, because you have a daughter who's a fantastic, successful entrepreneur in the retail sector. And we hope you share some of her learnings as part of your session today, as part of your discussion today. So Lisa, I want to hand over to you. A warm welcome to you from all of us from Masterclass and Africunia TV.
Woo! I'm so excited to be with you today. I am Lisa Jones, and I teach leaders, and I love it. I love developing teams. I am so happy to be with you today. I was so excited to share with you today, and I'm going to give you some actionable steps that you can go and use today. It's going to be exciting. But first of all, I just want to let you know a little bit about me. You know, personally, I have 3 children. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. My mother's here with us, and we just enjoy bringing value to business people and business owners. And you know, I was the vice president of Sassy Jones for a short time, which is my daughter's business. And I'll tell you just a little bit. Of course, I consult with her quite often, you know, but she is a brilliant person all in her own self. She is definitely a hybrid clone of me. But I tell you, she made, I think, of 5,000 businesses here in the US, the highest growing businesses here in the US. She made, out of 5,000, she made number 75, and she had 4,200% of profit over the last 3 years. And so that is phenomenal. And pretty much, you know, we share brilliance across the land, across the US. So I want to go ahead, because I have a lot to share with you today, and I hope you're excited. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, if that's okay.
Yes, and while you're doing that, I mean, I'm going to ask, are you wearing Sassy Jones today?
I am. How did you know? Yes, I am. So this beautiful necklace is called the Malia, and her earrings. Yeah. And yeah, you know, she's developed, you know, over, I would say, I'm thinking about now, it's probably 750,000 loyal followers that she calls her secret society. And these ladies have purchased, you know, over 2,000 US dollars in her jewelry. And so, I mean, she doesn't sell jewelry. She says she sells confidence. So I think
I love it.
Yeah. So if you can see my screen, what we're going to be talking about today is staff motivation and impact on productivity. I'm going to go ahead and put my glasses on. So this is exciting, because let me tell you, in Fortune 500 companies, I work with some of the top teams. And of course, there, you can't have a job if you don't produce, right? So some of these things that I'm going to be sharing with you, some of you, a lot of you are here, entrepreneurs. At first, I thought you guys were all bosses and things like that, but entrepreneur is just fine, because it's going to flow into what I'm talking about today. And the first thing I want to say is, first, you have to know yourself. And that's a Socrates quote. First, know thyself. In order to be in business, in order to be an entrepreneur, you want to first know yourself. Because guess what? Motivation starts with you. Motivation starts with you. If you want to be a leader, guess what you have to do? You have to be a servant. One thing that my daughter does well is she considers herself a servant. She finds out what her clients want. She finds out what they want to wear. She finds out a little bit about them. So you want to know the audience that you're targeting. You want to do all the research of what you're trying to sell and who would buy it. So you must have a strong why. And I don't know how many of you have heard of Simon Sinek. I'm a big Simon Sinek fan. He has lots of books, but some of this stuff that I'm going to give you, I gleaned from him a little bit. Especially, you must have a strong why. And having a strong why is part of your vision, okay? Your vision should solve a problem and improve humanity. So if you want to sell, if you wanted to have a restaurant, okay, and you make good cuisine, what you want to think about is, what problem does your cuisine solve, and is it because people are hungry, or you just want to have them taste your nice flavors? And then how are you improving humanity with that? What sort of service or what sort of experience? So in your business, I want to stop with the word experience. You want your customer, your consumer, to have an experience with you, because when they do, you're not going to be an upstart and burn out quick. You're not going to be like a firecracker that goes boom, and then you're out of business. So you want to make sure that you have the foundation to last. And part of the foundation is having a strong why. For me, when I went into business for myself, and just for those of you who need to know, I'm going to tell you this. My daughter will probably get me, but I'm going to share a secret with you guys. So anyway, so I went to work for her after 32 years in corporate America, and I led sales teams. I knew how to turn a coin. I knew how to turn a dollar bill, okay, and bring in sales. My daughter, we always talked about me coming to join her company. And so somehow she talked me into leaving my career and coming to work for her. She says, Mom, you have everything it takes. Well, guess what happens when you work with family? I don't know if any of you experience this, but here in the US, it may be a little different, because I know in Africa, you guys are very family oriented. We are too, but me and my daughter are the same person. So what do you think happened? Okay, so think about
yes, you must have clashed. Yes, Lisa, sorry to interrupt. Could you just make your presentation into, I think, slideshow mode?
Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, into slideshow. Yeah. You can see it.
Uh-oh, I went away from it. Hold on.
Yeah. Maybe if you go to the bottom, you can do it at the bottom. View slideshow. View slideshow. No problem. Views. Yeah. View slideshow. I think if you can go to view.
Control L will take you to the full screen. Control L.
Oh, Control L.
Thank you.
Okay. Wait a minute. It didn't do it. Hold on. Control L, he said. Okay, that's easy. Well, it didn't.
Is it working?
No. Because I'm in Google Slides.
Oh, Google, double click on one of the slides. Double click on one of the slides.
Double click.
Okay, I did it.
Oh.
If you click on present.
Present.
On the right upper side.
Oh, okay, there it is.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you.
I normally have somebody running it for me, so I do apologize for that.
It's okay, no problem.
So as I was saying, when my daughter took me out of my Fortune 500 companies after 32 years, we did clash. And, it was you know, it wasn't a pleasant situation for me because I said, you know, well, this is your company. And she made me understand that every day it was her company. And of course, I'm her mom. Okay. So, so I just decided that that it wasn't going to work out after, you know, me leaving the company. And so I decided that I could add a lot of value to teams and to entrepreneurs. So I decided to go rogue. And that was my why, because I always love adding value to others, adding value to people. And so I said, what a wonderful opportunity. It was God breathed. It was a God idea for me to leave my daughter, you know, and do my own thing. And so now, you know, we share information, show brilliance. And so it's been an exciting ride. So I have a strong why, and so should you. You want to develop your own personal brand. Now, this is really important. You want to develop your own personal brand. You want to know your workplace personalities, okay? Some of us may not have a team yet or may not have a staff, but you want to know what your personality is like. And I'm going to share with you a little secret. Well, it's not really a secret. It's my special formula. It's my secret sauce. In order to work with people, you want to be a strong observer of personalities because you don't want to hire or cast a person for the wrong role. It's like, you know, having a script and then, you know, the person tries out for the part and they're the wrong person. Well, one thing that my workplace animal personality test or assessment does is it puts people in the right role, and plus it's fun. So you want to know the people that you work with. You want to know the personalities around you. You know, certain personalities are good at certain things, and we're pretty much born with this brilliance inside of us. Another thing you want to know is you want to know your strengths. You want to be aware of your strengths, okay? And you say, listen, I love to pay attention to detail. Well, one thing I know that I am a big picture thinker, right? So since I'm big picture, I have all these grand ideas, right? People can take my ideas and make a lot of money. But for me, when I have a big idea, I need people, little worker bees around me to cast the vision, to help me make the vision come to life. I need people that are detailed. So find out what you're good at. Like me, I'm big picture. So in order to make something work in my business, I have to have people around me to handle my technologies, as you just saw, and to be able to do all the small things in order to make it a success. So for me, I would have to find someone that works well with me, the right personality, and they need to substitute for my weaknesses. So my strength is my strength. And then I'm going to look for all the people to work around me that can help build up everything, build up my weaknesses. Your weaknesses will never become strengths. That's the truth. And so you want to make this up with your employees. So I'm going to go on to the next slide. Becoming a great leader or entrepreneur. You can become a great leader or entrepreneur. The first thing you need to do is make sure you have a winning attitude. You have to have a winning attitude. Attitude is everything. I mean, you can actually do something wrong and people will never know because you have a winning attitude. You have a winning attitude encompasses this. You have no competitors. You must think. You have no competitors and no one offers what you do. No one has the brilliance that you have. No one offers what you do. Somebody may have a similar product that you have. Somebody might be in the medical field like you are, but no one can be you. And that is your brilliance. Just like God made us each with different fingerprints, you're going to offer something totally different. So you don't look at it as if, okay, the guy across the street, he sells cell phones like I do. And so he is my competitor. Well, what he actually is, he's actually a resource. What people call competition is actually your resource. They are going to help drive your why even better for you. And what you're going to do, you know, when I was working in retail, because I worked retail a lot, when I was working in retail and had stores that I was over, we had competition everywhere. You know, I was in part of my time was in the furniture industry. And so right across the street, we had something called Furniture Row, 32 furniture stores on that street. And so I had to make a difference when people came into the store, into our store. What was going to be different about what we had to offer? Well, I studied the competition, right? They were a resource for me to know what I could do right, what I could do better, and what I was doing wrong. So you want to learn from your resources. Another thing that's very important is to find your niche. Find your niche, find your niche, find your niche. Understand that when some of you may be serial entrepreneurs. I mean, you have several businesses, you sell several things. One thing about it, and you may not be having the success that you're looking for. Well, let me help you with that. You want to drill down on what you want to sell. I remember, telling my daughter, hey, everybody else sells jewelry. And she says, but I'm going to sell it differently. And then I started to learn, okay, good. And then I said, well, what about, selling clothes to go with it? Well, at first, until you're very successful at your niche, you don't move on. So you find something that you're brilliant at. If it's only two products, or if you say, okay, I'm a leadership coach. A lot of people may be joining, from different countries that are leadership coaches. Let me tell you, there's a lot of people in leadership. Leadership is a $250 billion business. So you want to make sure that you make a difference with yourself by drilling down on your niche. If you are a doctor, what do you specialize in? Normally doctors have to have a niche because they have to be expert at what they do. And then you just become better than that. How many of you have ever heard of the company Nike? Nike, they make tennis shoes. We love, and they have the slogan, just do it. And what they do, they build brand loyalty. Everybody, when they see the swoosh, they know what Nike stands for, the quality of Nike. If you get a pair of shoes from Nike and it tears up, that's not their quality. They will back their product, and they do what they do, and they know what they do well, and they study it, and they spend all their money in their niche. So what you want to do is find the problem, and solve it. So what you're going to be doing as you build your business, you're going to look around, there is a problem. In my daughter's case, she said, jewelry, some of this jewelry is so boring. I want something. She said she loves to look like a Christmas tree. I don't know. And even when she was a little girl at 2 years old, she used to hold little handbags. I couldn't find my keys. It started early, right, with her gift. But yeah, she said, I want to be different. I don't want to just sell jewelry, just a string necklace. And as you see, look at all this, okay? And the ladies go wild for it because she has her niche. And guess what? The ladies who like a simple, I don't have my cross on today, but the ladies who have want a simpler style, they won't go to her because they're not her customer. And, at one point when I worked there, I said, listen, you have to get jewelry for the businesswoman because maybe I might not be able to wear all of this to work. And she says, no, Mom, no, I'm not doing that. It's my niche. And so maybe one day she'll do it, but for now, she's solving a problem. And a lot of women want to be noticed, and her jewelry definitely makes them to be noticed. Another thing, you want to avoid being cast for the wrong role, as I said before. For instance, you may want to have a fresh fruit market, okay? A fresh fruit market. But say, for instance, you have never grown your own garden. You have never grown your own garden. And so you have been in technology, you love phones, and you decide, okay, I'm going to take over my family business. Well, it's going to be important that you love fresh garden vegetables. It's going to be important that you actually, can do the role. For instance, you wouldn't get in IT technology if you didn't know how to use the technology. So you want to know your brand, know what you're brilliant at. God has made us, given us a gift inside of us to know what we're brilliant at. if you are definitely a scholar, you have something special to offer the world. So you want to know your brand. A lot of people say, you know, I know that Nike is a brand, but guess what? You have a personal brand. And one thing you can do to start to evolve your brand is to, you know, get on LinkedIn. You start posting, even if you're gonna sell technologies. You want people to start to know you personally, because here's the thing. Here in the 21st century and moving on into the future, people want to know. You see the reality TV, you're watching me live now. People want to be connected with a personality. They don't want to just be connected with a product. So let me tell you, once my daughter decided to, at first she was just taking pictures of the jewelry, and until she decided to show her face on social media and to step out in front of the brand, that's when it really started to take off for her, because people wanted to be her. They connected with her. So another thing you want to know is your leadership style. And we're going to go over that a little bit later, but your leadership style. I don't know how many of you have heard of leadership style, but you know, if you're an autocratic, for me, listen, my husband will tell you, I don't have a problem necessarily telling people what to do. I don't know if you can tell that in my personality, and I do it in a fun way. But at one time in my career, you know, I started, management when I was 24 years old. I was very young. And I used to think that supervising was telling people what to do. And I was very good at telling people what to do. And I found that I turned, you know, a lot of people off. Some people love me, but I didn't understand developing my leadership style. Okay. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. You want to have the right personality for the right career path. How many of you know doctors and lawyers that studied for years and hate their career? They thought, my sister thought she wanted to be a nurse, but when she, and this is kind of gross, when she did her first enema or first blood transfusion, she was like, oh no, I don't want to be a nurse after all of that schooling. So you want to make sure that you have the right personality with what you want to do. And just a lot of us.
Sorry, I think I just want to add, and that goes, I think, very well to your first slide when you said know yourself. You know, when you were talking about knowing your niche, a lot of the times in the master classes, we kind of get the same questions, you know, from the participants, you know, about what they want to do. I want to go into this career, but I'm not making headway in this career. So I think, you know, emphasizing that you need to know yourself is very important so that you're able to find your niche and then know which direction to go. So I think your examples are very valid and relevant to our audience today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. That's a good point. And if you see the little GIF that I have up here with Chris Tucker, and can you imagine maybe him being a doctor? Maybe he could, but I don't know if Chris would be very happy with being in the medical field, because he was actually designed for something else. And, you know, a lot of us will get to the middle of life and figure out, oh no, because we did it for all the wrong reasons. We may have done it because our parents did it. We may have done it because, you know, we thought it was the right thing to do. We wanted to make them proud. But I'm telling you, when you can find your niche and you can find what fits your personality, you're so fulfilled. And here's how you know. Okay, quiet people, loud people, fun people. I love to have a good time. I love to dance. I just love life. And, you know, I'm kind of loud. So could you imagine me working in a library?
No, not at all.
Never, I would be fired, okay? So, you know, those of you who have lost jobs and things because it wasn't the right role for you, this is what I'm talking about. If you're more serious, you're more reserved, then, you know, maybe being a psychologist where you're a good listener. You're not much of a talker, but you're a good listener. That is a great, brilliant zone, and we need that in the world too. Some of you are what I call people pack lovers. You love people. You love to be around people. You love a good party. The more, the merrier. You know, my husband and I live in a very nice home. And I say, okay, this home is nice, but I want company. Let's have a party. Let's have people over. And since now the quarantine and the you know, COVID, you know, you can't have anybody over. So I missed that. So you want to know your personality. Did someone say something? Okay. Okay. What's your personality telling you? Okay. If crowds bother you, you want to avoid the service industry. Okay. If crowds bother you, you don't want to work at the front desk of a hotel, or maybe be a waitress in a restaurant, or even do a product-based business. If your friends are single, if your friends single you out as being a people person, hey, you're the life of the party. And they're always saying, you know, why don't you decide the restaurant we're going to? And they always call on you. Or if they break up with their girlfriend or boyfriend, they're on the phone with you. Oh, could you give me some, I'm so sad, what should I do? Hey, listen, you're a leader. And a great position for you might be a CEO, entrepreneurship, management is something for you if you're just a natural leader. And here's another thing. All of you firstborns out there, if you are the oldest child of your mother, guess what? You have, I don't know what, but it's a study called birth order. You have more brilliance in you to be a leader. Normally, if you're born first, you're a leader just naturally. Okay, so you want to, some of you may have your friends, who don't, some of you don't want friends with drama, okay? And if that's the case, you don't like drama, you don't want to work around a whole bunch of people, you like peace and quiet, office worker, technology. Boy, in my career, I used to love the IT guys. I used to love people who love technologies, and then our marketing department, because the IT guys, you know, they used to come in, they had beards and sometimes they wouldn't shave, and, you know, but they were brilliant in the brain. But when I came and, hi guys, how are you? I'm going to bring you some cookies. And yeah, you guys want to, you know, you guys want to come down here? We're having a party, birthday party down here. They look at me like, no, we don't want to. So anyway, they are geared towards working by themselves. If you're a good listener, like I said before, and you're a nurturer, the medical field might be best for you. Okay. So I'm going on to the other slide. Now, what I'm going to talk about now is the workplace animal personalities that I've developed. And this is very interesting, and I get a lot of calls for these. And let me tell you, I thought, and I will tell you how it started. I had a team of 65 salespeople. Okay, 65 salespeople under one building. And it was time on Saturdays. Saturday morning was our morning. Everybody came in together for my rah-rah meeting, for my meeting. And I would watch them all, and they would all sit in clusters. Have you ever gone to a party and then people cluster together and you wonder why? They're like, you know, 4 over here, 2 over here, 2 over here. And, you know, I looked at them all, and sometimes they made a long line at my desk to ask certain questions. And I always knew what personalities would ask the questions. And then I looked at them and I said, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Wizard of Oz. Well, in The Wizard of Oz, it says lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And so I said, wow, you know, they all have personalities. And, you know, we're not calling people animals here, but Myers-Briggs, let's talk about the science of it. Myers-Briggs developed animals' personalities before I did. I didn't realize that until I went to do the research. So I said, wow, this sounds kind of crazy, right? To do a personality assessment based on workplace animals. So I'm going to start with our first workplace animal. And you might be able to recognize some of them are male, some of them are female, but they could be either or. The cheetah. Now, I love the cheetah because the cheetah is fast at what she does, okay? Her personality is influential with people. She's a people magnet. You'll notice cheetah workplace personality because she comes to work dressed. She has her lipstick on, she's ready, she's elegant, and guess what? She can sell ice to Eskimos, and they love her. But the thing about her is the thing about a cheetah personality is this, is that it's all about her or him. And they're not really great team players, but they're great in sales, and adapting them to the other environment will be the key. Okay, so that is the cheetah. It can go long, but I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis of each animal, okay, personality. The gazelle. you know, and everything is based on the African safari, okay? And you're not gonna find an animal here that's not on the African safari. So the gazelle, you know, if you notice, they're in clusters, they're real fast, okay? And their bodies are very lean and tight. These people pride themselves, the gazelle personality, they normally exercise. You might find them to be runners. They're a bit paranoid about how others view them. Their friends love the gazelles because they want to please. And another thing, gazelles get hired more because they're very soft, easy to get along with, very soft spoken, and normally present themselves as being very professional in appearance. But guess what? Gazelles aren't loyal. So a lot of us will hire gazelles, and some of us have gazelles all around us, but gazelles, well, you will create turnover with gazelles because they're not really loyal. The elephant, I love the elephant because elephants are leaders. And I have an animal assessment quiz. You can take that animal personality assessment on my website at www.now/lead.com. Okay, so the elephants, they are deliberative. They move with confidence. You can kind of tell when they come in the room, you feel their energy, okay? They're calm, they have calm energy. Their calm is apparent in all aspects of their life. They move freely through life with few barriers holding them back. Of course, you know, there's very little predators to an elephant, right? Loyalty is their specialty. So if you're a loyal person, and you're loyal to a fault, like I am sometimes, I just believe in people so much. And, you know, and sometimes I'm like, you can do it, and figure out, you know, now I can figure out with my personalities that, you know, they're cast for the wrong role, but they're very loyal to you and they make great managers. So those of you who are entrepreneurs, if they were to take an assessment and come up with the animal personality as an elephant, you know that they will stay with you for the most part if you treat them well. Another thing, we got a giraffe here. I just happen to be a giraffe. I'll tell on me. I just happen to be a giraffe. They're not particularly arrogant, but they have an extraordinary talent for becoming the center of attention. If you, and normally you will know them because they're normally decked out. I know my daughter, she definitely is most like, she took the animal assessment, but I didn't have the giraffe on there, but I believe she's a giraffe because like she said, when she comes in, the room stops. They look at her, oh, I watch her wherever I go. This happens to us. And they are meticulous about their appearance. They have good taste in consumer goods and they're great at sales. They also are great at being a leader. Most people look up to them. You get it? They're a giraffe. Most people look up to them because they're so graceful, so beautiful. And, you know, not necessarily appearance, but how they move, how they talk to people. They are normally in the designer field. If you know, some of them have opened up a design office and they're great entrepreneurs, typically of fashion. If you have your own boutique, things like this, giraffes tend to be there. Zebras are powerfully loyal, intelligent friend with very little compromise. Zebras, there's no black or white, even though they are black and white. A good debate is entertaining. Do you have a friend where they love to debate, or they like to, you know, if you say the sky is blue, they'll say it's black? Okay, that is the zebra. They're creative, they're free-spirited, and they share their beliefs. They believe what they believe. They possess a strong value system. Lions, oh my goodness, lions, as we come to the close of it, of the workplace animal personalities, lions pretty much have extravagant lifestyles. You can tell because they probably drive a nice car, or they love some of your goals. Now, some of you are very young, so some of your goals, hey, I want to drive a Maserati, I want a Mercedes Benz, or something like that. They are very extravagant. Because of their vivaciousness, they have large appetites for things. Typically, they're very great leaders, but you don't want too many of them in your workplace environment. Either they will be leaders, or they'll run people off, or people would gravitate to them. So they're bold, they're pretty direct. They are a mover and shaker. They might have several businesses. They show more than tell. They're not going to how many of you know people that talk all the time? Well, there's a lot of people that talk all the time. Well, lions don't have to talk. They will show what they have. Okay, and the last one, the wild dog or the dingo. Okay, they're great team players with a winning attitude. They're democratic in nature with a gruff exterior. So that is the dingo. Those of you who enjoy your friends, and you enjoy doing things with friends, and you're going to open up your business with your friends, typically you might be a dango. My mother happens to be a dango. She says, Lisa, I don't want to be that ugly dog thing. Well, that's just your workplace animal personality. Okay, moving
Lisa,
on.
can I ask a question?
Yes.
Is it possible? I mean, I'm loving this, animal personality, and I'm also trying to figure out where I stand. I mean, is it possible to be more than just one type and a hybrid of some of them?
With the assessment, when you take the assessment, it will tell you what percentage of each animal you are.
Okay.
Typically, I'll tell you assessment feedback. Typically, some people look at it and say, I know I'm a lion. So they'll try to answer the questions, very vivaciously or with strong opinions. But really, I find that the real animal personality is normally the second one. But it will break down the percentages, yes.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, all right. So the next thing we talked about earlier is to know your leadership style. This is very important as well as you begin to take on entrepreneurship, as you begin to move forward into your corporate settings, even at work for you all that may not be a leader yet. And we're going to talk about that, how to get the attention of your boss and how to be a mover and shaker. You want to know your leadership style. This is science, actually. I don't know if you guys knew. In 1939, a group of researchers led by psychologist Kirk Lewin came up with some of these leadership styles. So the autocratic leader, which I have the lion leading that one, is, have you ever heard of him? Donald Trump. His leadership style is a autocratic leader. And an autocratic leader, pretty much, you will find them in factories. The military is autocratic. You follow the rules. You put this widget on here, this part on here. You do it every day. You do what I say. That is an autocratic leader. Not a bunch of creativity, but one great thing about being an autocratic leader, people know where you stand. It is not a negative at all, okay? And sometimes they drive high revenues. The democratic leadership style. Have you ever heard of Obama? Maybe some of you have heard of
course. He's half African.
Yes, he is. He is, right? I think his dad is from Kenya, right?
Yes, Kenya, East Africa, absolutely.
Okay, yes. And so Obama, yes, he has a style, he has the finesse, and he listens to people. And he got people's opinion on how they wanted to be led. The democratic leadership style, where you go to people to get your team's opinion, or you get a lot of opinion from others, can be a great way, or it can actually hinder you when it comes to making quick, snap decisions. For instance, Donald Trump can make instant decisions, and he doesn't care what people think. And so he really doesn't. And so, he doesn't care less what people think of him. And sometimes it takes that to get a certain job done. But Obama, he was loved by the people because he cared. We knew that he cared about us. It's not that Donald Trump doesn't care about us, but he has a different style of leadership. The transactional leadership style. How many of you have heard of Bill Gates?
Yes,
Bill Gates. He does a lot. He's a wonderful philanthropist, and he gives a lot, and he's into, medical research and all this research and science. He's a very rich man, of course. He pretty much is a transactional leader, which means that I'll give you something, you give me something. He rewards his team. So for instance, and I used to be a transactional leader where I'd love to praise my team. And if they did a great job at sales, I would buy them lunch. I would give them gift cards. We would have a good time. But when they didn't, do a great job. Maybe the stick was out, you know, let's do more training or something like that. That's a transactional leader. You have to figure out which one you are. The transformative leadership style, Steve Jobs, an innovator. You know, Steve Jobs definitely sat and listened to people, but he had these huge ideas. Some of you out there have these huge ideas, and all you need is to have the resources to bring them about. You're transformative. You can sit in a place, you can go to a job, and you can find all the things that the job is missing. You can find you're good at solving problems. You see the problem and you go, oh, if we would do it like this, it would be a lot better. It'll be a lot more streamlined. So that is a transformative leader. Now, this one I love, the laissez-faire leadership style. And I'll tell you, my daughter has the laissez-faire leadership style. And that laissez-faire leadership style, Aliko Dangote,
Dangote. Aliko Dangote.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that, yes.
He's actually from West Africa, Aliko Dangote.
He is, yes. And I was reading up on him, and he is a very brilliant man. And, you know, just like him and Warren Buffett here in America, where they are, you know, a tycoon billionaire, they pretty much hire the right people. They hire the right people. They know how to spot excellence. They're excellent spotters. They will pay a person a handsome salary to come and work for them. And guess what they'll do? They will let them do the job. They will let them, they just write the vision. Everybody has the vision. Everybody understands the vision, and they leave them alone pretty much. Okay. So that's the laissez-faire. Some people love, I don't know if you've heard of Google. Google has that sort of atmosphere. People can bring their dogs to work. Yeah. You know, they can work at their own pace. Matter of fact, Google gave $1,000 to each of their employees to work from home and to buy an office desk. Great.
I know that. Yeah. So I think everyone wants to work for Google now.
I know. You know, it's a wonderful place to work. You know, you can wear your pajama pants to work at Google. I don't know if I would want to do that. That would probably drive me crazy. Yeah. They get up out of bed, no shower, they go to work. Okay, and then the last one, the situational leadership style. And I think no matter the situation, like Nelson Mandela, he was incarcerated for a time. This person can survive in any situation. And, you know, the situational leader encompasses all of them. They can actually, this is a well-rounded leader where if a situation, if you have, you know, a line at your store outside, you know, like I had at times at Christmas and things like that, and a lot of people are putting a demand on you, you can be each leadership style at the time, which is wonderful. So that is what I have on leadership style. So you have any questions for me about that?
Thank you for including Nelson Mandela, our former president.
Yes, we love him. Oh my gosh.
We love him, yes.
Yes. Motivational leadership actionables. Now I'm going to give you some what I call brills, which is brilliant. We're going to go into a brilliant zone here, and we're going to talk about the motivational leadership actionables, what you could take with you, okay? What you can take with you. I don't know, how am I on my time?
We're good on time. You have actually another 20 minutes.
Okay,
15,
good.
20 minutes,
okay.
So it's good.
Okay. All right, so what we're going to do here, number one, I'm going to help you to know, we're going to get curious, right, about leading from anywhere. Some of us actually are complaining at work that, hey, my boss is not giving me a promotion. I'm a leader, but nobody's recognizing it. I want to move up the corporate structure. I want a promotion, okay? Okay, and believe it or not, you can lead from your office chair. You don't have to be the CEO to make a difference in your workplace. You can lead from any seat in the office, really. And this is how you're going to do it. And this is how you get the attention of your boss, okay? Or get attention, period. If you're trying to pitch to a company, you want to share your ideas, right? That will be the first thing. You want to share your ideas. Have a think tank with your colleagues and say, you know, we have this system in place, but I've come up with a way that we might be able to streamline the system and make it more productive. And you're not talking to your boss. You're talking to the girl who sits across the other side of the office, and you guys are teaming up and you're having a think tank about how you can solve a problem. And the next one I have, yes, you're going to solve problems. And let me tell you, and this is how I was highly paid at corporate America, nicely paid at corporate America, because I knew how to solve a lot of problems. The more problems you solve, the more success comes your way. That's the same thing when you're an entrepreneur. The more you look for a problem and you solve it, and boy, your bank account shows the difference, okay? So you become a problem solver. The next thing is at work, if you have a job currently and you're not a leader, you want to become a bridge builder. If you have a marketing department, or some people will say, you know, when I had teams, oh, this is the sales department and that's the office department over there, or that's accounts payable over there. What you want to do is start developing relationships across departmentally. Okay, you want to start making relationships, start getting to know everyone in your at your job. Okay, if you're at a job, you want to start to get to know everyone, find out their names, find out their likes, become, you know, build a bridge for a common cause. That's going to be important. And then the last thing, in order to get noticed, is you want to inspire growth around you. Whether, you know, I had staff members who would decorate my sales board for me. You know, a lot of times I would go to a board and I would put who was number 1, 2, 3, top 10 in sales, and we would make a big deal out of that. Well, I had one lady who loved to decorate the board. Something simple as that. She said, Lisa, let me take that. I would love to decorate. And then when we do events, I would love to decorate it. Well, pretty soon, she was my office manager. Well, she was later promoted because she liked to be inspirational. She loved to be a problem solver. People loved her. So I couldn't deny her a promotion because she was always in my view. People always came to me to brag about her and say all the good things she was doing. So that's another way that you can get a promotion at work. And the second thing is, I love Simon Sinek, like I said. You want to find your why. That's important. When you start a business, you have to ask yourself, and I mean, this is so crucial because, you know, businesses start and go out of business quickly now. Sometimes you have to be able to play the long game. Knowing your why helps you to stay in the game longer, or to do your practice longer. Believe it or not, those of you who may be going into the medical field, do you realize, and my daughter-in-law is a pharmacist, and she said, Mom, I didn't realize that I was in retail. She said, I didn't realize that I have to know business too. In order to own my own pharmacy one day, I have to know business. She didn't realize that she needed this other tool. She thought she was just going to handle medicines. Like many of you think as the medical field, you're just going to handle your patients and that's it. Oh no, there's a whole backdrop of business that goes with it. So asking yourself why beyond that, beyond the medical degree, why do I want to do this? And if your why is huge, I want to be a gastrologist, okay? And I want to take care of the bad tummies because I want people to be healthy, and it's my driver. And I want to come up with new technologies and things like this. And you know what? You ask your why. Why do I want to do this? And it cannot be connected to money. Some people say, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a billionaire. But guess what? If you don't have a good why to do it, do you think that Bill Gates has a good why? Do you think that Nelson Mandela, for taking a leadership role, I would think for me, I said, who would want to be, I don't know if I wouldn't want to be the president of the United States of America. No way, no way. But we have individuals.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Absolutely. No, I was gonna say,
Yes.
a lot of people now like, oh, I want to start a business because they think they're gonna just make tons of money overnight. And I like it's not like that. It doesn't work like that. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with that amount of profitability. So definitely great point. I love it.
Yes. And so, yeah, because a lot of people who go into business, the entrepreneur, okay, they're the brightest bulb on the team typically, okay, because it's their business, it's their baby. But what has driven them out of business, even when they have a great idea, is because they don't know how to handle people. They didn't think about the business aspect. They didn't think about knowing how to file their taxes and doing all the accounting that goes with that, okay? So, but if you have a great why driving you, you will be determined to find all of that. And so the next thing is, why does your why matter? Why does it matter? What difference are you making in the world? Let's think about let's think about Nike. I keep on saying Nike, but just think about some things that, I forgot the name of the company, but they make eyeglasses, and every pair of eyeglasses you buy, guess what the company does? They donate the glasses. There's a shoe company called Tom's here. And I like Tom's because they're very comfortable. I don't know if Tom's is a great brand, and it is a green brand. They're earth friendly, but every time you buy a shoe, they donate shoes. Crocs does the same thing. You see, their mission is they have a large why, okay? And then letter C, they found their common cause. These companies found a common cause. You buy a pair of glasses for me, I'm going to donate a free pair of glasses, or I'm going to do something for the world, something for the community. And this is this brings up in your employees a large common cause, because you want the cause, even if you're doing a restaurant, you want the cause, you want to create a great experience. The cause needs to go beyond you. It shouldn't be you focused, look at me. Now, Sharice, my daughter, she's beautiful. People look at her, but she's a servant. She knows that, and she serves the people, and she's very genuine with it. She knows that God has blessed her to be in that position, right? Okay, so number 3 is very important. Start your business with the end goal in mind. This is one common mistake a lot of people make, especially here in America, because even if you want to structure your business, so with your vendors and the people that you buy from, so if you ever wanted to sell your business is sellable. Do you want to, is your business a legacy business where you want to leave it for your family? Do you want your business to last throughout the generations? So making a decision now to to not continue to evolve in your business may hurt the legacy idea later on. If you're not constantly evolving your business and coming up with new strategies, your business will be left behind and there will be no legacy. So you want to make sure that you find out, okay, this is going to be the long run for my family. Once I'm gone, I want this to be a legacy. Also, the next thing is, will you sell your business? I think I said that before. And go to the beach and do you and have a great time. I'm going to sell the business and I'm going to do something else. There's many people that have got on the New York Stock Exchange, and then shortly after that, just totally sold the business. There's a lady that I know, I'm not going to mention her name. She sells hair products, and some of you know her, Carol's daughter. She has Carol's daughter products for hair.
Yes.
Well, Revlon bought her, I think it was Revlon that bought her line from her. Her customers, because Oprah introduced her to the world, her customers got so upset with her for selling her brand. So, Carol's daughter still has, I still buy it every now and then. Carol's daughter still has a legacy, but it's been bought by a larger company. And I think, she was working really hard, long hours. So it's okay for her to sell her business if she wants to. Another thing, will your business end up as Sleep Coin? What is Sleep Coin, Lisa? It is making money. Sleep Coin is making money in your sleep. Your business
Wow.
continues whether you're there or not. For instance, if you sell classes, okay, and you do the video recordings and person can buy the class, you don't have to redo it ever again. If you are, let's see, what else? If you are loading your videos up to YouTube and you have so many subscribers, okay, and then you have so many people, so many sponsors, and you're making this money from people clicking on these items that they want to buy, and you get a percentage of that, that's what we call sleep coin. If you can figure out how your business can make money without you even being in the room or having an employee, that's the best business in the world, right? For some people. I like to be involved with people, but that's something that we call sleep coin, something that would last whether you're there or not. Then, do I want my boss's job? Do I want my boss's job? Some of you may be workers. You might even be a blue collar worker, and you decide, listen, you know, I would like to get a raise. Now, let me warn you. I want to tell you with all sincerity that you don't want to just. What did you say? You don't want to. You don't.
Please mute your microphone. Sorry about that, Lisa. Please mute your microphone. It's not time for Q&A yet, but please mute your microphones for now. Thank you. Go ahead, Lisa.
I'm almost done. Okay. So you want to, if you want to be promoted on your job, don't be promoted because you want an increase in income. You want more money. You need more money, so you want a promotion on your job. Because I'm going to tell you, if you get that job and you don't have the leadership skills, leadership skills can be developed. It can be a miserable role for you. But if you want it, and your why, remember I said your why is because I want to take care of people. I see this, I want to help this company to grow. I want to help this company get to the next level. I have so many ideas. That's the reason to get a promotion. Your boss will notice that in you. You start doing the other things that I said, you start building relationships with different departments, and guess what? Your boss is going to be looking at you. So you ask yourself, do I want my boss's job? And another thing, if the answer is no, I want my own business, then nothing's stopping you. And I always tell people, just do it, right? Okay. The fourth thing is very important. You want to write your vision down. It's important to write your vision. Now, some people think that a vision is a mission statement. Not totally. A vision is not necessarily a mission statement. Listen, if your business, if you don't have a mission for your business, when all the work goes in, you may fizzle out without a true vision for your business. And so you want to talk about what your business common cause is. And that's the next one. Let your vision rally a common cause. Like I said, Tom's gives some shoes away. Well, all of us who are getting in business, well, you know, we can't, I think, okay, we can't afford to do that. Can we? What can we give away free? What sort of value can we add? And let me say this, when you're selling something, and this is just a little bonus bone, when you're selling something, you want to train a person on your product. You want to talk about all the things that the product will do for them. But asking for the sale, you want to buy it? Okay, look at this bottle is very pretty. Would you like to buy it? You know, it's very nice. If you don't say, oh, can you imagine, and build a story. You know, I had this bottle the other day and it was so hot outside. And I couldn't believe it as I was walking down the street. I just took it and I decided to take a drink of water, and the water was ice cold still. And I was a little stylish with the bottle. And so this is one of the reasons why I love this bottle. I'm not asking for a sale necessarily. I told them a story about the bottle. People no longer want to be, you know, hard close, hard sale. When you walk into the environment, you're trying to create an experience, right? As soon as someone comes into your establishment, you don't want to be right there. You want to buy it? Well, how are you doing today? You want to greet them very kindly. You know, you want to have some small talk. You want to ask, what brings them in. And definitely, you ask enough questions. And just like you do with your team, if you have a team, you lead with questions. I don't tell people what to do at all. Pretty much I ask questions, and asking questions will give you all and you do open-ended questions: what, where, why, and how. So that's just a little bonus, off-task bonus there. So let your vision rally a common cause. Something has to be bigger than you are. So, and then you can make your statement with that. Okay. I was trying to give you an example of one that does that. If you notice that the common cause, I'm just going to use Nike again, their common cause, Nike understands their vision. They will get people they will back athletes, okay, to wear their things, right? And they know that, while you're seeing LeBron James or your favorite soccer player, right, wear this stuff, wear Nike shoes, for psychologically, that hits in your brain. Oh, I want a pair of Nike shoes. But let me tell you about Nike, though. They say just do it. But have you ever seen one of the sports, like Tiger Woods? He messed up. He cheated on his wife. I don't know if you guys know Tiger Woods, the golfer. And guess what? They stopped backing him. They didn't want their name associated with them. So they had a common cause, and nobody was going to cross that common cause. Not an employee, not anyone. Okay. Number 5, entrepreneur. I got 7 points. So entrepreneurs make bad managers. Vice versa, can make bad managers. Really, entrepreneurs can make bad managers, and here's why. And there's Meryl Streep there. She's one of my favorite actresses, taking off her glasses, and she did a movie called Devil Wears Prada. I love it. You want to create an ecosystem of leaders within your business, because, say for instance, if you're just starting out, it's just you, it's a company of you. Okay, you hire your first employee. You want to develop a leadership. You want to empower that person to make decisions. You don't necessarily want to be a dictator to them, telling them what to do all day long. See what they have to offer, ask for their ideas. So what do you think about me doing this? I had an idea about us putting this in the window, or I wanted the medical practice to look like this when people come in. Do you have any ideas? So you want to create that whole common cause with them, because normally with entrepreneurs, this thing is your baby. You've worked hard, you put money, you put an investment in, you put your education in, your hard sweat, tears is in this. Nobody can mess it up. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of entrepreneurs have a short fuse. So when I seen it in my daughter, where if you mess up something, you mess up too many orders, guess what? You're fired. Fired. You're out of there. And entrepreneurs have that nature because they don't want anybody tampering with their hard work, right? So you want to create a great ecosystem of leaders within your business. You want to avoid saying entrepreneurs. And if you're not an entrepreneur, if you're aspiring to be an entrepreneur, you're about to go into your own practices, you want to lose the word my business. It's my business. When you're having employees, the last thing you want to do is say, it's mine, okay? You want to use words like we're gonna do it, we're gonna develop this, it's our brand. You want to have inclusivity. Here's the thing about having family businesses, okay? You might have a family business and you hire people that's not within your family. You have to be very careful, because those people that's not within your family will leave pretty quickly because they're not feeling included, because you are saying maybe this is my business, or they feel outside of your family. So make sure that you include them with your words. Here's the fact. $350 billion is lost on unengaged workers at work. People at work that you're hiring, you're paying money to, and they're not giving you what you're paying for. And you never know. They're on their cell phones all day. They're supposed to be doing work, but they're on their cell phones all day. You have not engaged them, or you have the wrong person in the wrong role. Holding everybody to the same standard is the next one. You can't have favorites. When you begin to lead your business, you can't have favorites. It doesn't motivate the team. The motivation from the team, and one thing that I was known for, you know, and my team really celebrated me. I wish I was going to show you this picture, but if you can see, this is the young me, and I was celebrating my team during awards. Every February, I did this award banquet for them. I fed them and gave them awards and things for their adding value to the business for that year. But they turned around and celebrated me. They said, you treated us fairly. We love working with you. And so that is the best compliment, when they see you as a servant and you're holding everybody at the same standard. Number 6, no, there's only 7, create brand ambassadors. You see these guys walking down the aisles, kind of funny, but they are brand ambassadors. You know, they're ready for their workday. If you know about Walmart, I don't know if you know about Walmart and Target, they come to work and they are creating brand ambassadors with their employees. They have little, you know, I'm a live alert awake enthusiastic. I would sing silly songs to get them ready for work in the morning. So you want to create brand ambassadors, and your brand ambassadors are, first of all, your employees. They can make or break your business. When you're not looking, they can steal from you. They will tell their friends what type of boss you are. And so you want to make sure that you have them on your side. You want to know the goals of each of your employees. Definitely. You want to know your employee more than, they're not just a number that you pay, okay? You want to know them as a person. Not that you're going to get so close to them, because there should be a divide, but you know, you should know if your employee is saving to buy a home for him and his family, or he's saving to buy a new vehicle or something like that. And you want to say, you know what, if you just push a little bit more, guess what? We can get this done. And I would love to see you drive up in that brand new car. And how wonderful does that make you feel when you add value to your employees? People are part of what they help to create. People are part of what they help to create. Listen, if you have a business that may be already established, you tell them, hey, we're growing. We're a growing business. And do you have any ideas? I don't know if you guys know that a unit means you and I together, the acronym. You want to grow your business together with your team and ask your team what they think too, and get their input. Okay, number 7, and I'm about to be done. Make sure your business has a thriving ecosystem. Okay, a thriving ecosystem. I don't know, how many of you have ever walked into someone's home? We're gonna just say this, into someone's home, and this person's home is a couple, and they always played happy couple. Honey, I love you, and they're always a happy couple. Well, one day you visit their house, and there's nothing being said, but you feel it. You feel the tension. Have you ever gone into a store, looked at an employee or something, and knew that she didn't enjoy her job, and she was chewing gum like, what do you want today? Like, why are you here? You know, and you can walk into bad air. I call it bad air. And what I always like to do in my businesses is to make sure the atmosphere is good. Because I don't know how many of you know that we give off an energy. We give off an energy. I'm giving off an energy right now to you. Okay. And so even though you're on the Zoom screen, you might be able to feel my energy. Okay. So the energy in the room changes everything. So Lisa, okay, how do I get my energy up? The employees come, they put their coffee down. Oh, we got to go to work. Oh, it's Monday. Okay. So this is a silent killer. Bad air is a silent killer of productivity. If everybody hates their job, guess what? You're losing money. You are losing a lot of money, because guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to make that pizza a little slower. I'm going to leave out some ingredients. I'm not going to, your patients call, and I won't take down the message. You might not even get some of the messages, because, excuse my Southern drawl, we have the South here and I have a little Southern accent. So anyway, so it's a silent killer. So you want to do a pulse check on every employee every day. And we're talking about productivity in the workplace and motivation, right? You want to say good morning to your employees. These are simple things, but I've worked with leaders, CEOs, executives that will walk in my observation when I go into their company and I'm doing an observation. Some of them won't even say good morning to, or greet them. Okay. I think that's kind of rude, but their employees feel that, or the boss, you may not talk to that employee all week, especially if you have a big office, but you should find out, how's your mom? How's everybody doing? How are you doing today? Everything great? So what's on your agenda? Or how's it going? Open-ended questions. So you can say, well, I know you have this or that to do today. No. So what's your agenda today? And you being the boss, you know what their agenda is, but definitely you want to make sure that they know what it is. So you just ask them questions. Then they don't feel like you're bullying them or telling them what to do. The generations are changing. Very few with these new generations, they don't want to be told what to do. They want to be part of a common cause. Okay, so you want to reduce misunderstandings quickly. For instance,
Lisa, just on that point, I mean, and I think that's a great point, but we even hear that celebrities themselves, because they have employees, they also have that type of management style where you hear that they say, don't look at me when I walk through the corridor, don't talk to me, I'm the boss, don't speak to me. I mean, you read about it. So this seems to be a prevailing management style, even though we know it's not a good style, but it seems to be a preferred type of style to have your employees not talk to you directly or not look at you, or they get used to you not saying hi. And I've worked with leaders who just walk in the morning, don't say hi to anybody, and then somebody leaves the company and one day they wake up and they're like, what happened to that person? So I mean, why is it such a prevailing style, even though it's such a bad style?
Well, again, it goes back to Ayanda. It goes back to the leader, that CEO mindset, that executive mindset that, I have a lot to do. It's all about me. I'm the star here. That lion animal personality, that is the stars is the lion personality. If you think about it, the stars, some of them have cheetah personalities, but they are, Ellen DeGeneres here in America. Yes. She's a TV host. I don't know if you guys are seeing this scandal where they're saying that she seems so nice. She gives so much, but guess what? Her reputation will cause people not to watch her anymore. Yeah. Because just like Walmart too, they found out that Walmart was not giving people, it changed now, but they did a whole documentary about Walmart. It hurt them so much because the employees didn't matter. So what drives that is that, like I said, entrepreneurs don't make good bosses. And a lot of times the higher they go, they don't think that they have to. At work in the morning, sometimes I used to take out the trash. When I had 4 or 5 stores under me, I would see my janitor and I would say, it's a lot of trash in here. And he would have the cart and I would come and put, do the bag. And he would look at me, ma'am, you don't have to do that. But you know what? I spoke to him. And then my house cleaner, Janet, I spoke to her. We had long conversations. I knew her daughter's name. I knew what was going on in her life. If you don't take the time will take you. Wow. Everybody, some people think that they're all of that because they have the education, but I'm telling you, people won't forget what you said, but people will forget what you may have said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So if you make them feel like peons, they won't stay with you. You'll spend a lot of money in turnover. So let me move on. So you want to reduce misunderstandings quickly. You notice two ladies are gossiping about each other, or they're having a problem, or they're not saying good morning to each other, and they were talking and they were friends and today they're not. And you get this rumor mill going. It's so important. If it's not you, make sure your manager takes care of that quickly. That will drive down morale quickly. People won't do work, but they'll talk about, the affair that she's having over here. Go to it quickly. Another thing, open door policy. Just like it's obvious that Ellen DeGeneres did not have an open door policy. Nobody could walk into her office or even speak to her. So she had bad air because of that. So let's learn from that. The manager is responsible for morale. There's a lot of managers, if you have a supervisor now that may tell their boss, I don't know what happened. I don't know why they have bad attitudes. I don't know why my retention is so low and people are quitting. Well, people are quitting because they're firing the boss. People are quitting on the boss because the boss allows that to go on. And some bosses are so timid that they're not willing to check the behavior and say, listen, okay, can we talk about it? And sometimes, some days at work, I said, boy, I feel like a psychologist or a highly paid babysitter. But guess what? It was well worth it because my team always produced the maximum productivity. And that's how I got promoted time and time again. I got rid of the weeds. It's like a garden. You see a weed, you pull it out. You want your garden to be nice and pretty. Okay. Employees need to employees need to be engaged by your manager or the entrepreneur, at least, if not once a day, minimum 3 times a week, just speaking to them. If you just do it only 3 times a week, find out how they're doing. Find out how your employee wants to receive recognition. That's important, because I used to bring employees up and clap for them in a meeting, and guess what? They were really shy. And they would say, Lisa, I would just prefer the gift card. Don't worry about recognizing me in front of people. I felt bad about that, but that's how they wanted to receive their recognition. Meetings, I'm going to tell you, this is a key nugget. When you have your business, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a lawyer, and you're in the boardroom or you're in your business room and you're creating things, every one of your meetings, and you want to write this down, should have information, should be informative. If you can send in an email, you should not have a meeting. You don't want to waste people's time, okay? Inspiration, you need to have inspiration. You want to inspire people to do better. You want to tell stories about someone's success and get them all fired up about that. You want to pull on their hot buttons. Educational, you want to make it educational. You want to learn something. Whether you got a new product in, you want to say, this is how you want to hold it, hold it nice, romance this product, romance it, have a style with it. Okay, so, I used to, when I interviewed people, I would tell them, I would say, sell me this pen. And they would have to pitch this pen to me, okay? Motivation. So at the end of the meeting, you don't leave the meeting on a bad note. Guess what? We're going to have the best day. And guess what? We're going to go, yes, 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 yes. Let's do it. And then they all go, yeah, that is a highly productive day. Okay. So that is my class. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, wow. Lisa, that was amazing. I think,
you want to know
honestly,
more? I have a book,
yes.
The Better Boss, and we'll talk about this later.
Okay, great. Lisa, thank you so much. Honestly, that was high energy, vibrant. I learned so much. I think everyone's learned so much. And we really want to get to the questions, because I'm sure a lot of people have questions. I have questions. You really triggered the thoughts. You really triggered the stimulated the thinking. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we get back from that, straight dive into the Q&A. Okay? So quick commercial break, everyone. And when we come back, you can ask your questions to Lisa.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vendor City, the future of e-commerce. I am Dieter Frank Wepf from Switzerland and Business Development Director of Vendor City Limited. Today we will present you the next level of experience in e-commerce, Vendor City. The presentation is held by Jessica Morales, our communications assistant. Please, Jessica.
Thank you, Dieter, for the warm introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Morales. I am the communications assistant for Vendacity, and I'm here today to tell you more about our company. Vendacity is a UK-based e-commerce business that conducts business-to-business, customer-to-business, and customer-to-customer transactions. We offer a wide range of products which include fashion, home and furniture, electronics, digital media, physical media, and many more. Vendacity's main objective is to create an e-commerce marketplace for all individuals, regardless of geographical location or lack of access to conventional financial instrument. The Vendacity team is comprised of a strong group of reputable individuals from various locations across the globe. Vendacity has many effective features. Most notably, we offer fast and efficient service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our secure payment platform, which includes escrow service and allows purchases to be made using cryptocurrency. Peer-to-peer transactions that include trade option through barter, the sale of new, used, and digital products and services, all offered at competitive prices. Our platform offers advertisement opportunities for our vendors and serves as a business directory. We are a payment gateway for merchants to accept cryptocurrency. And our members have access to our fiat and coin trading platform at excoinchel.com. The list goes on. Vendacity is an e-commerce platform startup. Our main goal is to offer a variety of products and services at competitive prices to all countries globally, including developing countries in Africa. Our platform will function 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and is coupled with an efficient delivery system. We are official partners with FedEx, and we are working to grow additional partnerships. We offer a highly secure payment system that will be integrated with the Avcash payment gateway system that accepts cryptocurrency along with all other major payment methods. As we know, the industry of e-commerce is growing increasingly. Let's have a look at Africa specifically. With the middle class on the rise, the purchasing power will follow. According to the Africa Development Bank, spending within this group of over 1 billion people is expected to rise 42% by the year 2060. Consumption within the continent increased from 364 million in the year 2000 to over $1 trillion in 2012, at an annual growth rate of 10.7%. Another report by McKinsey shows that online shopping accounts for 10% of retail sales. This would translate to a whopping $75 billion in revenue, considering 50% of the population will have internet access by the year 2025. Based on this information, our anticipated revenue in the Nigerian market is as follows: over 3 million in sales in our first year, over 7 million in sales in our second year, and 12.5 million in sales in our third year. Vendacity's effective marketing strategies, our unique innovative concept of Avcash cryptocurrency payment system, careful development of our products, along with strategic partnerships and a profitable revenue model, shows we have the ability to become a highly regarded resource in local, national, and international markets. Ultimately, Vendacity has the ability to provide lucrative returns to potential investors. We invite you to visit our social media platforms to learn more and get in touch with us. Thank you very much for your time.
And we're back, and it's time for a Q&A with Lisa. And you can type out your questions in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and ask your questions directly to Lisa. Madeline, do you see any questions for Lisa in the chat?
Not in the moment, but I'm sure our
so
audience...
maybe everyone wants to, they want to talk to Lisa directly, no problem. So I mean, my first question to you, Lisa, is, you know, I think this leadership style issue is something that keeps coming up. What is the ideal leadership style based on the personality types that you have shared with us today? What would you say is the ideal leadership style to have?
I would say the situational leadership style, being able to adapt to different climates, that is going to cause you to be a great leader because you're going to be well-grounded and well-diverse. Diversity in knowledge and skill is really important. You want to be able to know like every function of your business and how to respond to customers, how to respond under pressure, you know, how to create a common cause. Situational leaders do that. Democratic leadership too. Sometimes democratic leadership won't respond quickly because they want to get everybody's opinion. And of course, we know in business, a lot of times you can't do an opinion poll because you don't have time. So you do that, you know, when you can, but the situational leader knows how to adapt and say, no, we're going to go forward with this. This is the decision I can make. And then after that, share it with the team and create the common cause there.
Fantastic. And I mean, in terms of, you know, the American landscape currently, you know, how would you say that type of leadership style is growing? Do you see it growing more and more, or do you feel that it's staying with the old way of managing?
Well, I'll say this: what is growing more is what is popular is the Google landscape and what their model looks like, and that is laissez-faire. You know, you hire people to do their job, and then you let them do their job, and that sort of situation is more appreciated than you know. But the problem with that is you have to pay them to do their job. You know, they come with education. So the less education a lot of times that your workers have, and the less you pay them, the more you have to create you have to go into another leadership style. You can't just leave them. You have to coach them. You have to teach them. And a situational leader is able to do that. But the more popular one now is becoming the laissez-faire, because the generation, the Gen Zs don't want to be managed. They would prefer to be part of a common cause.
Great. And in terms of, I mean, the morale part, you know, with Gen Z, again, we find that, you know, to motivate them, it's not like before where it was very incentive based. You know, how do we now motivate them? Even if you have a great leadership style, you know, they want much more. So how do you keep staying fresh with Gen Z as a manager?
Okay, well, I'll tell you, the good news is that they're easier than millennials. Okay, millennials, you know, if you're in the 30s, you know, I think Gen Zs are now like 24, 25 years old and under. Gen Zs, they like the common cause. You got to show them, you know, that, hey, we're doing this to help people. They are very motivated, but they want, you might have to do a special schedule. Say, for instance, if, you know, you have to work them on the weekends, and, you know, if they have a special request, you want to see how you can meet the special request, because it's not that this is your schedule. You know, I had to evolve my schedule because, you know, sometimes you get people calling out when you need them. But if you allow them to come to you and be honest, say, listen, what do you need? You know, I need this. What can I do for you? That's what Gen Zs appreciate. And, you know, you can see by the uprising here in America right now that's going on, guess who's out there? It's mostly Gen Zs, because they are rallying together, and they are doing this because they have a common cause.
Yeah. Amazing. Do you have any questions from the audience? I don't want to be taking up Lisa's time just for myself.
Yes.
Any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi. Hi,
Hi.
Mr. Hi, engineer. Nice to have you with us. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. It was quite expository. I think I really appreciated it. There's a question I have. She mentioned
Engineer, sorry, we're getting
this
some
slip coin.
Sorry, engineer, we're getting some
Echoes. Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Just a minute.
Are you connected with two devices?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Is it clear?
Better.
Okay.
Great, better.
There was a statement earlier mentioning slip coin, and that slip coin, you go to sleep, you're still making money. Now, I know there's a stage between when you start the business and also the slip coin is activated. Now, what are those factors and what are those important things we need to take into consideration before you break even into that slip coin stage?
Okay, so what you want to do is, at Sleep Coin, you want to identify what people like to buy. Or, you know, for instance, I don't know if you guys know about Amazon.
Yes.
You know, Amazon has, people are making Sleep Coin on Amazon. They put their products up there, and guess what? People, and you know, you buy a product, say for instance, if you sell pens on Amazon, and you know, hey, you may not be having a lot of profit. Well, maybe the profit is maybe a little less if you were to sell them yourself, but you're selling the volume of them, and you're not even having to put it in a bag and ship it. They ship it for you. that is an idea of a sleep coin. And, you know, whether you get, you know, it's not something that's very expensive, but you know that it sells all the time. And so, or you know, this is what your audience wants, and you just keep reinventing it. And then pretty soon, you know what works, and you go and you make sure that it's productive, and you go to the beach and let your sales happen. And it can happen on your websites too.
Okay, it makes a whole lot of sense. Then the second question I have is, one of the first statements you made at the start of the program is you spent over 35 years developing companies. Now, my question is, how have you been able to manage to look this young?
Good question.
I begged a man when I was 15 years old to give me a job. I would walk past his shop and I said, I can do it. And he said, I think you're too young. And so he hired me. So then he started to trust me to write his bills out and everything. And so I've just been doing it since I was a teenager. And so I was a very young manager. I don't know how, you know, I think it's my genes.
Wow, it's awesome.
I don't know. I don't let things stress me out that much too. I don't let things stress me. I move on, you know, and everybody knows at the workplace that they have a new, I'm not going to be angry with them for a long time. I'm going to let it go. Tomorrow's a new day. And if you live like that, it's less stress on your body.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
We have Mary that raised hands. She has a question for you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary. Go ahead. Mary?
I see her, but I see her window, but I don't hear her.
Okay. Next person. I think we'll give her some time.
Okay.
Do you have another question for Lisa? They're normally not this shy. Mary Jo, hi. Do you have a question?
Maybe I answered all their questions.
No,
I mean, they're still on here. So.
Hi, Muhammad. Hi. Go ahead.
Good evening from Nigeria. My name is Mohammed Lamide. I said I've learned a lot from the speech so far, from the teaching and everything. My question is, what is the, I'll go like this. What are the obstacles? I know many employees face some obstacles or some things during the process. I would like to know, what are the obstacles employees face from effectively in their jobs or in their duties? What stops employees from performing effectively in their duties? Those are my questions.
Okay.
Lisa, did you do that?
Not all of it. I think he said, what are the obstacles that you would may face in your jobs trying to do your duties? Was that?
Yes. So what blocks the employees' own productivity levels?
Okay, so say that for me again.
So as an employee, what are the challenges that would prohibit your own productivity?
Oh, as an employee, oh, wow. The first thing that will hinder your productivity is your attitude. I mean, if you go to work dreading your job, within you have to pivot those feelings and figure out, well, this is the job that I have now. Guess what? I'm going to make amazing things happen today. And you come into the job with a certain energy. It's mindset. And say, for instance, if you have a mean boss, because mean bosses are very challenging for workers, and you have a mean boss, you don't let their energy affect you. So if they're mean, you are going to come back with, okay, well, have a great day then. You're still going to keep bringing the sunshine just because, and that will help you to either get promoted or go on and do your own thing. But typically I always do, pretty much attitude assessments, because if it's not that they don't know how to do the job, it could be their attitude.
Okay.
I hope that helps.
Yeah, I would like to say, okay, let's assume as an individual, I have a problem early in the morning before going to work, or maybe on my way to work. is it better to just return home without going to work, or still try and go to the work? Well, we know that the situation I have will affect my daily work that day. Is it better to just stay at home or still try and attend the job?
That's a good question.
Okay, I missed the end part. So when he goes to work.
So he's saying if you're going to work and then you, on the way to work, maybe you have a bad experience and it completely messes up your day. Is it not better just to call in sick? Do you still have to go in the office knowing that your whole productivity levels would be out the window because of the experience that you had?
Okay, good question. That is a good question.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. Let me put it in this analogy. I believe that that's a challenge, right? And I believe, because I don't feel, you see this energy, some days I go, oh, I have to do a video today. You know, let's just be real about it. But I am mindset, you know, you have to condition your mindset. You have to develop a strong mind. And that is the thing. You know, when I was working and I had all these stores, I had my daughter was a teenager, and she, not my daughter that's famous, my youngest daughter, she was doing everything under the sun to change my morale. I mean, she was something else, but as a teenager. So, but I had to, it was lights, camera, action. So I thought I changed my mind and I say, you know what, I'm on stage. You know, I had to change my mindset. It is, okay, I got to go to work. It's kind of like knowing, hating to wash the dishes, but knowing that if I don't wash the dishes, how my kitchen is going to be messy. And so dishes are not my favorite thing, but I'm going to wash them. I have to go to work because I have to pay the bills. Now, you could decide to call in, but that would be low vibrating energy. That would be, you know, the universe winning on you. I always think, hey, unless, you know, it's like a family death or something, that's different. But if it's just, because how many more days can somebody, say if you have a bad relationship at home and you got in an argument, well, you have time to think about what's good, what is happening in your life that's working for you and not against you. And by the time you get to work, and if you get to work and you're not there yet, it's just best to just say good morning and not say anything until you're good. And then they might know, oh, you're just saying, you know, good morning or answering yes or no. They may know that you're having a bad day. And it's just better to do that than to go talk to your manager and say, hey guy, I showed up at work, but I'm really not ready for it. And in sales, if you're in sales, if you have to sell stuff, listen, people who came to work with a bad attitude, they weren't productive. And so I would call them. They used to call my office the detox chamber. I used to bring them in to detoxify them. Hey, talk to me. You know, I have been called some names, the B word before. I have been, you know, and it's not just because, you know, or saying, you know, I found out someone was being beat by their spouse and, you know, somebody, bad things. And so I listened. And because I listened when they were to leave, and some people, you know, believe it or not, you know, in some cases, I even, you know, would you pray for me? And I did whatever I needed to do to help them get on with their day. And they would thank me and say, okay. So sometimes even talking to your leader, if you can, when you get there, you just tell them, hey, I had a bad morning. We understand that.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mohammed, for your
you,
very good question. Very good question. Thank you for that, Mohammed.
Thank you.
We have Bamidele that wants to ask something.
I think Mary Jo, I was sorry, engineer. Is Mary Jo still not able to connect? We just want to make sure we don't miss her out. Mary Jo? Okay, she's still not able to connect. Engineer, go ahead, please.
Yes, I actually wanted to add to what Lisa has stated for the question the gentleman just asked. Now, what came to my mind was an analogy of someone that is actually going to war, and you had a bad day at home and you've been assigned to go to war. Let's say you've been assigned to go to the Gulf region to actually kill some insurgents, and you had a bad day at work. Now, even though you had a bad day at work, and you have it at the back of your mind that if you allow the effect of whatever you had at home to affect your work, so it is either you are killed or you kill someone. So it is always better you have that mindset that anytime you go to work, irrespective of anything that comes to your mind or irrespective of any challenge you have it at the back of your mind that whatever you do at your place of work has negative repercussions or positive repercussions, which can even add more to the issue. So if you have that mindset, I think it will help you to adjust your thought process. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that point. Yes, absolutely.
Very good, engineer.
Then we have Mohammed that would like to ask a question.
Hello, Mohammed. Hi, welcome.
Hi, greetings of the day from my side. This is Engineer Mohammed Amir Khan from India, Kashmir, actually.
Thank you for joining us all the way from Kashmir. Wow.
Yes, thank you. First of all, before posing a question, I'd like to thank the Masterclass Initiative for blessing us today with an extraordinary session from Lisa. Such an energetic and enthusiastic session it was. And honestly speaking, as you were already mentioning, that we learned a lot of things today from this session, and that's why it prompts me to mention that I wish to always have some more time beyond these sessions with Lisa in order to get trained, and particularly as an entrepreneur, as a startup, as a business owner. Thank you especially to Lisa ma'am for having such an amazing session, wonderful session. Now my question to you is that can we expect I'm asked you to start my video. Okay, no problem.
There you go. Hi, Mohammed.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Okay. My question to Lisa ma'am is that can we expect, beyond these online sessions or webinars, can we expect some collaborations from her business initiatives or from any other networks or linkages from US, which can, help some of us, as participants, as business owners or as entrepreneurs to take our businesses to next level, like incubation, some mentorship, all the way from US, whether it be physical or virtual, or some investment opportunities to our businesses so that we can grow to the next level? Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'll say this, that we could, I think you're talking about networking and continuing the conversation, and I do classes, and normally, I do them live, and I normally do it. And of course, with the classes, there's a cost assessed to it, I don't know, but I do share a lot, and I do like to give value, and it doesn't have to necessarily have a cost all the time. If I can sell my products or something like that, that's even better. But I'd love, if I'm invited on somewhere else, I just love to share, especially with young people and entrepreneurs. I've enjoyed watching a lot of entrepreneurs that, I've talked to and shared some of my knowledge with to grow in their business. So I would like it, if somebody, if there was another platform, and I would share my website will have, and my Facebook page, Coach Lisa Jones, will have different events that I do have. I always share on that page.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we expect some more time with you in future, maybe online, or maybe some time down the line in US, we catch you there.
Yes. LinkedIn too. I share my videos a lot on LinkedIn. Please connect with me there. Would love. Yeah, sure. And then if you have a question, in my inbox, normally I answer them.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much.
I mean, she's very active on social media, so on LinkedIn, on Facebook. So definitely I encourage you all to connect with her, follow her. There's a lot of videos that she does that could help you a lot, and you can learn a lot as well.
So
thank you so much.
Thank you. We have
thank you,
Olanike Abiba.
Welcome.
That wants to ask a question.
Hi, Olanika. Go ahead.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Olanike. I'm from Nigeria.
Hi.
So, can you see me? Hold on.
Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah. let me allow some ray of sun. Okay, so my question is, hold on, because okay, so my question is about or should I say rebranding for entrepreneurs. So for so in a case of which you said some money shouldn't why for your business, of which I understand perfectly now, because as an entrepreneur, that has always been, I'm always about, okay, let's make some money. I just need to make a lot of money because I like to enjoy life and I really love to be at my best. So, but recently I've come to realize that there should be a better why. Money is good, but there should be a better why. So my question now is, how do I restructure how do I restructure my business, or how do I restructure my business to capture a better why, so much so that money isn't the central focus?
Okay.
Very good question.
Good question. Good question. Okay, so what you have to do is find out, even, I don't know if you're selling something right now or whatever your business is, you want to find out or dive deep to see what your business has to offer to the world. What difference are you making a difference? Because right now you might be saying, oh, I just want to, I just love making money and that's my why. But it could be, if you're selling scarves, okay, it could be that you want to make, my daughter sells jewelry. So she was selling jewelry. Then all of a sudden she said, I need a bigger why. And she says, I don't sell jewelry. What I'm actually selling is confidence. You see, it changed from I'm selling jewelry, I'm making money, because she's at multimillionaire status, and she changed everything with her why, with saying, now I sell confidence. So if you're selling, scarves for heads or whatever, and and they're beautiful, you want to say, I am, dressing women, I'm making women lovely, one woman at a time, and that needs to drive you. And if you feel passion, whatever you're passionate about, if you're selling something or doing something that you're not passionate about, trust me, it's not going to last very long. And even if it lasts, it's going to be such a chore and a dread in life. And you don't want that. You want to sell and do what you're passionate about. And if you can't do your business yet, work for someone that has the aspiration where you want to be. If you would like to have a business like theirs, go and get a job there and watch everything.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay. Okay, Lisa, we have some 3 questions that were typed directly to me.
Okay.
So the first question was that you seem to be someone who has, experienced a lot in life. Okay, you've basically lived. So, what kind of challenges have you experienced that you can share with us, and how did you overcome them?
Oh, okay. That's a great question. Well, I think, and I'll tell you this secret. My daughter, Sharice, she was born, I was a teenage mother. At 15 years old, I was pregnant at 15 years old. Okay. And everybody said my mother wanted me to go to school, and I hurt my mother very much and shamed my family. And that could have been catastrophic. And I had girlfriends, birds of a feather flock together. I had girlfriends that had some babies, and the difference was I didn't want to accept, I had a different mindset. I don't know. I didn't want to accept public assistance. That's why I begged the man for the job at 15 years old. I didn't want to receive a check. I didn't tell you that. But at 15 years old, I was driven. I had 2 jobs in high school. 2 jobs in high school. Okay. And it was, I don't want to be a part of my environment. It was just like the young lady said earlier, she wants to have a certain lifestyle. And I think because, you know, I had different mentors in my life, even though I grew up, my mother was a single mother. We didn't have a lot of money. And so I had to create, I knew that if I worked hard, my mother was a hard worker. So I watched her, and I just had this determination in your heart to do better, to give 100% every day. And people that watch me, even now, even though I'm 53 years old now, people say, you know, young people still love me. I have energy, because I keep recreating myself. So I hope that answered, but it's pretty much your mindset. It's pretty much your energy. And you know what? It's, you know, I am a very spiritual person, to be honest with you. And so God helped me, you know, he inspired me. I listened to my inner voice, and to, you know, go here, go there. I trust my intuition, and I go with it because I feel like he knows why I was put here. So I'm going to listen to that voice, and step by step. And people, you know, I just feel like that's God's greatest asset is people. And so that's what I decided to do. And that's how I overcame things.
Amazing. I think, wow. I mean, I think no one would have actually expected you to have said that. So those are amazing. And I have the other two questions, but I understand there's two other hands up. So please go ahead and ask the questions, because we have, I think, 10 more minutes. We'll give us some additional time, if it's okay with you, Lisa. 10 more minutes. So please raise, those who have raised your hands to ask questions, this is your time. Go quickly, please.
Okay, that is Babatunde is one raising hand.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Babatunde, welcome.
Good.
Hi, Babatunde.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good afternoon. This is Babatunde, but Tunde for short, from Nigeria. I love your presentation. It's been very awesome. My question is on the different personality you made mention of, autocratic, democratic, situational leadership, laissez-faire. Now, my question is, how do you deal with a person that has different personality? And two, is it possible for someone to have almost all this personality in one person? A person can be autocratic today, maybe tomorrow be democratic, and another time is situational, another time is laissez-faire. Is it possible for someone to have this personality combined? Thank you.
Okay, that's a schizophrenic, but no, I'm just kidding. That is, yes, you can really know, you're not, when it comes to personality, now leadership style is something different. Your personality, a lion, you know, a lion will have a bad day, okay? A lion will have a bad day, and they may have different, that's called moods. You know, one time they're this, one time they're that. But really, basically, you know, for me, you know, I like, no matter if I leave my home or not, I like to dress up. And often, you know, that's who I am at the core. So really, you can't evolve over time to become, as I got older, I was less commanding. So over time, it can evolve. You can become another workplace animal personality, or you can change your leadership style by getting wisdom. And you say, you know, I don't value that anymore. A short temper is no longer what I need to do. And so you change from maybe a cheetah to you have to be the center of attention to now I want to add value to others. So, you know, that evolves over time. But if you're talking about from day to day to day to go to from the different personalities, no, that's just mood swings.
Thank you, Babatunde. Great question.
Yeah. Sorry, I missed it up. On the leadership style, I wanted to ask: is it possible for someone to combine different leadership style in relating with people, or in your leadership process in your place of work, or maybe in your individual life or your own company? So I mixed it up with the personality. So it's on leadership. I wanted to ask the question. Thank you for throwing more light on that. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So yeah, the situational leadership style has all the leadership styles encompassed. So you can have different leadership styles depending on the circumstance. Typically, can you imagine the commander in the military being autocratic he might have a mood, but he's always going to tell you to follow the rules. And pretty much, you know, that commanding officer probably won't change. But he may become situational in his, he might say, okay, I need to have a little bit more compassion here with my troops or something, but pretty much the nature of who he is going to remain autocratic in nature. Okay, I hope that answered you.
Babatunde?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you.
Then we have Bamidele Idris.
Okay, engineer.
I'm sorry I'm asking so much questions.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're an entrepreneur, so you're allowed.
Now, I've listened to your strengths. I've listened to your threats. You mentioned the threats when you were 15 years old. Then you mentioned the opportunities. Then I remember you also stated you love to talk. So if you love to talk, would you want to work in the library? You mentioned that also. So those are the things. So under the SWOT, I want to know, what are your weaknesses? Now, those weaknesses, how have they affected, how have your weaknesses affected your progression in your business? And how have you been able to manage these weaknesses?
Wow. Lisa, you're challenged today.
I'm on the spot here, okay? It's called the big reveal. Okay, so because I'm outspoken, one time my grandfather said to me, he said, Lisa, when I was a young girl, he said, you will either be a great success because of your talking, or you're going to jail, because you can sell anything to anybody. Your gift can go either way. And so as I approached, you know, corporate America, I was very strong in my opinions, very opinionated. And my boss would say, but I was always willing to share my opinions. And at times that got me in trouble. You know, one time my boss says, I want to, he was a vice president. He said, I want to, the people that we're going to hire for this position, I want to do the second interview. Okay. And nobody had done that to me before. I hired who I wanted. And so I said to him, well, why don't you just do the interview then?
Oh, and wow. You are fired.
No matter how many millions of dollars are brought in for him, I had to fly to his office and have a chat with him. That was the first and only time that I got in really big trouble because of my opinions. But pretty much that had been a situation. Oh, another thing, because I like to talk about real life issues. A lot of my girlfriends, you know, I hadn't been, I think because of how I think, I probably had more male friends than I did female friends, because I didn't talk I didn't talk about what we're going to wear today, or, you know, the girl over there, look at what she has on, the gossip, you know. And so that got me little friends, because people actually, because I used to wear business suits to school. And when everybody else was just wearing jeans and whatever, and I used to put business suits on. So I was always kind of weird. So I think that caused me, and people say that it's lonely at the top. And, you know, in some cases, especially in corporate America, I knew that they were going out, or maybe we would go bowling or something. And I would sit over, because who wants to really be friends with the boss, even though they come and talk to me? But it can be very lonely, because, you know, you have to lead. So I think that's been you know, I wanted to be liked, but I had to do the right thing more than wanting to be liked. And so I think that was the hardest thing for me when I wanted to, you know, join in and be a part. I knew that I had to have a certain standard, but I remained approachable. I wasn't like Ellen.
Wow. I think definitely you've been through a lot. Thank you, engineer, for that great question.
Thank you so much.
I have a question myself.
Yes, Madeline.
So Lisa, I don't know if you were in the situation that, for example, you try to motivate a team member or a downline manager, and you know he has the capacity, but the person himself, he doesn't understand that he has the capacity. I don't know if you get me. So.
Yes.
So how do you build, do you take confidence, you build strengths in them that you know they have it, but themselves, they don't know they have it. So.
Okay, good. I love that question. Cultivating the champion within. You see, because you see his brilliance, but he doesn't yet recognize it. So as a leader, for instance, like some of my quiet ones, I would secretly ask them to do things to help them, or I would ask them questions like, I would say, do you know how to do this? And they would go, yeah. And I said, would you show us how to do it? Could you show the whole team how to do it? I would, and normally he would do things for me, but he was very quiet, right? And I knew that he had all this knowledge to share. And so 1 month, I put everybody, every employee, so I didn't single him out. Remember, we treated everybody the same. I had every employee to present in a morning meeting on a certain topic. And so when he presented, he got like a round of applause. His smile went, and then afterwards I coached him and I said, so what did you think of what you did? Tell me what you thought you did right. Tell me, and would you do it again later? You can even say, I see that you're an excellent trainer. For instance, if you can train a lot of people, and I see this in you. Is there any reason why? And then here's another thing. It's called an action plan. You can develop an action plan, and I'm going into too much, but you can develop an action plan for him. And then the action plan doesn't necessarily have to do with productivity on the job, but you want to start seeing him take the lead more. Well, I would like you to work with Susan. She really is struggling right now, and she could really use your help. So could we make that a goal that maybe I would love to see you turn Susan around or to help her with this knowledge. It gives them confidence, and you try to bring them out of their box a little at a time by doing an action plan. So that's the short answer.
Okay, then I have the last question from my side is also, you described very well the lions, this and that. And so now if you have a typical lion let's say as a manager, and you need to calm down a little bit, yeah? Not to be too harsh with the people, not to be too lion and against his downline, and without breaking his hunger to be successful. I don't know if you get my question.
I do. It comes in because he's your supervisor, it's just a question. So you just ask them, so, how many people this morning have you talked with? And then he might go, what is that question? How many people have you said good morning to this morning? And he goes, well, just you. And that can facilitate his thought process, because what you want to do is get him curious about these things. And you go, I read somewhere, where was it? Do you know in the US that $350 billion is spent? And typically with the lion, if you start talking about the loss, we have a lot invested in Susan over here, and she feels a little down. We got a lot invested in her. I mean, the last thing we want to do is lose her. So you know what she would love? He's a lion, so you have to stroke his mane a little bit. So we would love, I would totally love if you would go and have a conversation with her today. She's really down. She would love it. It would make everything. And then so he would puff up, oh yes, I'm the man, or I'm the, okay, let me go and do it. So that's how you stroke the lion.
Great, thank you.
That strategy always works.
Reverse psychology.
Yes.
We have Gifty Nana that wants to ask questions.
Okay, I think we have Janet as well. So I'll just take those two, and I have still two that were sent to me, and then we're done for the questions. If you have any additional questions, please send them to us, and then we'll send them to Lisa to answer for you. But for now, unfortunately, we run out of time. We only have time for these 4 questions left. So Ms. Janet and Gifty, please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much for allowing me.
Hi, ma'am. Hi, thank you.
Yeah,
Hi.
I have maybe a question and somehow a comment. Yeah, on the area of being democratic and not being autocratic, a leader, I seem to have a feeling that a leader should not be autocratic, but at the same time should not be too democratic, because the employees have a way, most of the people, they take things for granted. And if you're an entrepreneur, you've put in so much into your business, at the end of the day, all that occupies your mind is the success of that business. And when you have people that are not very serious-minded around you, you cannot help but be very firm with them. And in any case, and I feel a leader should be firm. A leader should not be too simple to the extent of becoming too common.
Yes.
When once you become common in the eyes, in the way you relate to your people, then you've lost it, because they'll take you for granted. And I also believe that between the relationship between the employer and the employee, there should be a little gap.
Yes.
That is, it doesn't matter if they want to say this one is so class-minded or something, but at least you should keep yourself in a level, and the workers should be at a certain level. But identify yourself with their, be passionate, be compassionate, identify yourself with their pains and whatever, so that at the end of the day, they can flow with you. But don't be too simple to be common. That's the way I feel. I don't know what Ms. Jones feel about it.
Okay, so I feel that is correct. I feel, here's the thing, a lot of times leaders, or that's why I said entrepreneurs, because of all the things that's on their mind, it's best that they have a cushion between someone leading the team and themselves. But if they cannot, you know, have a supervisor, then you can still be democratic, because I was democratic in my approach a lot, but they knew I didn't have to go and tell them I'm the boss. You know, I would list, like, you know, the laissez-faire. All they do is list the things that need to be done. And what you do is you coach them so you don't, first of all, you trust the people who work for you. You try to trust them. It's a mindset that you have towards them, that you empower them. Here, I know this is my business and it's our business. So without the business, none of us are here, right? Yeah. Okay, so here's what I need you guys to do. As a team, this is what we need to do together, okay? As a team. Just because you're talking to them like that, they're not necessarily gonna you know, think you're their girlfriend or hee ha ha, but you can still give them things to do, and, you know, and walk away and see how many things actually get done without leaning over their shoulder or micromanaging them. And then you come back and say, so how did the day go? Or if they're, you do it by coaching them, and then you're not so autocratic, because it depends on what you're doing. But autocratic leadership gets a lot of enemies. And typically, if you're too autocratic, the employee will engage less, especially with the Gen Zs. You know, they will, you know, if they're not, they like to be part of the solution. So even if you really don't want their feedback, there have been times where I was like, I know what I'm going to do. In my mind, I was autocratic, but I'm going to ask them anyway. I already knew what I was going to do. I already knew that I was going to make this decision, but I asked them. I knew, for instance, the team was going to have a pay cut, And I said, sales this year wasn't that much. So, I asked a couple of them, how do you think I should approach telling people they're not getting a raise this year? And I did that in a democratic approach, and it worked, because by the time I stood in front of everybody at the meeting, nobody says, I'm quitting because I'm not getting a raise and I worked hard. So you do it through coaching. I think if you are confident within yourself, too much fear of becoming part of them or too much hierarchy. Matter of fact, the new way of leading is they're taking the hierarchy out of it, which is scary to you and I, because we're probably, it's scary to you and I can't imagine that. But where everybody's leading, everybody's a leader. And so when you say your business, okay, you share things. And I used to share some key things about the business with them and say, hey, we're going to beat these numbers. We're going to do it. This is our customers are going to give me your idea of how to make it better. When you include them, you're still a leader, but they feel like partners, and you know who you are. So you don't have a self-esteem issue. And then if they get out of line and what's up, girl? I don't know if you guys say that, but what's up, girl? And, and she's chewing gum. Typically when I came through, we had furniture. So people used to sit on furniture. When I came through in the morning, they would get up and scatter and I didn't treat them mean. They just had respect for me because I had respect for them.
Wow. Yes.
That's fine.
I think that's very, very good. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a different world today with the new generation. So we have to adjust the management style accordingly.
Yes.
But thank you, Mom Janet. That was a very good question. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, we have one more. I think Gifty. You are there? No? Okay, so Lisa, I have the last two questions that were sent to me. The first question was if people need to work. So we know that people need to go to work, people need to be employed today.
Yes.
Why is it then necessary for a manager to motivate them? Why is it necessary for them to keep them engaged if we know that people need to work?
Okay. Yeah, that's a great question. We know that it's basically a gig market in the work world where, well, after COVID, people need their jobs. Okay, so even though they need a paycheck, they will come and get a paycheck. Now, it's productivity. I think somebody. It depends. The productivity piece of it is what you want to be concerned about. Just because you give a person a job doesn't mean I've seen people sit and take a paycheck and do very little work. That happens every day. And so involving them and motivating them to do better creates more productivity for you. And how you get it out of them is not, you don't say, okay, I'm going to tell you how to do it. But a lot of times, if you've never got in there with them, if they've never seen you wiping off tables, if they've never seen you folding napkins or doing what they do. So in a way, you want to kind of get in the trenches. You want to find out their worldview is important. Find out who they are as a person, because it's just not enough to say I'm a worker here anymore, because you will lose productivity when you don't invest in people.
Amazing. Great question. And the last question was, how then does a manager, keep his employees motivated, especially during these times of crisis, and help them to stay on course with the company vision and goals?
Okay, so with that, you talk about the common cause all the time. So you constantly remind them. Now, we're not expecting, maybe this is a new normal. A lot of times I would have a talk or a meeting with them and say, how are you feeling? I know that, a lot of you are, kids aren't going to school. Some people don't even have sitters. She's worried about, my child is learning virtually. There's a lot on a person's mind. So what you're going to do is you're going to let them know that, hey, we're in this situation, but we can't lose the vision. This is still our vision. And guess what? COVID is probably going to leave. We're going to get some sort of vaccine. It's going to be gone. This won't happen always. So is there any reason why, this is one of my good questions, is there any reason why, you see me shaking my head, is there any reason why that we can't just go lights, camera, action and just make it happen anyway? We can make amazing stuff happen anyway. You know, now is a time for us to dig deep and find out who we really are in the midst of adversity. It really separates the boys from the girls and the haves. You know, it's in you, and I see greatness in you, and I know you can do it. And you can always talk to me if you're not feeling it for today. We'll make adjustments, but it's important. We all have this huge common goal. It's our customer. They're coming through the door. It's not their fault. And so that they have to wear a mask when they come in here, and they're angry about that. You know, people are angry. And so, you know, give them tools to work with, mind tools, help them to shift their mindset through the motivational conversations.
Amazing, amazing. Lisa, thank you so much. We went so much over time, but it was worth every minute of it. I know that there were so many questions.
I have Gifty Nana again with the question. Sorry.
Okay. Please, as the owner of a business that includes most of your relatives as workers, what is the best leadership style?
Gifty, we can't really hear you. Gifty, we can't really hear you there. The connection.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, just speak slower.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Just speak a bit slower.
Okay. As the owner of a business that includes most of your relatives as workers, what is the best leadership style? Because on the contrary, such businesses might not thrive well as compared to a business with more workers being outsiders. Since the owner sometimes feels pressured by their relatives in making certain crucial decisions concerning their business. So what is the best approach in such a situation?
Unfortunately, I don't know if Lisa caught that. Lisa, were you able to hear that? I think she was asking what's the best leadership style.
Yeah, she was asking what is the best leadership style. Now, the circumstance that she was referring to, I didn't hear all of that. Did you? I didn't hear.
No, I didn't get. I think anyway, are you able to type the question? Gifty, are you able to type the question in the chat, because we're not able to get the full picture?
Yes, the connection is too bad, sorry.
Yes.
But you can write it openly in Facebook, everywhere. We're going to attend to you.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Giftido, for calling in and giving us your question. Lisa, unfortunately, those are all the questions we have time for today. Yes. We've run over time. Thank you for being so understanding and patient. I know that we probably would have had more questions, but time was not permitting. And hopefully everyone will, reach out on social media and, connect with you and then, speak to you directly. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And after that, Lisa, just give you 1 or 2 minutes to just wrap up and summarize the key takeaways for our audience. And then we'll say goodbye and end off with some really good music. So please don't go away. We still have some wonderful music to end off a wonderful session. So quick commercial break.
Thank you.
And we did surely rock it. Lisa, you rocked it. You were amazing. So much grateful for you being here with us. That was so insightful. You know, I think you brought in some new concepts that a lot of us weren't aware of. And definitely we hope to have you back in future to speak more on other aspects of these personalities. So really thank you to you for being here with us. Thank you to Africunia for streaming us and, you know, for always being such good partners to us. Thank you to the Masterclass Initiative for, you know, making sure that we got Miss Lisa Jones on board today. Thank you to all the participants for the great questions. Lisa, your key takeaways for us as we wrap up.
The key takeaway is for all of you I want you to study your why and go deep within to see, you know, what you want to offer to the world. Once you find that, I think once you find out a why, then you want to develop your common cause. And once you find out your common cause, you want to rally the troops, your employees. Remember, you want to use the golden rule. Treat others the way that you would want to be treated. You know, you don't want to be treated like a number. And if you keep that up, you know, the golden rule, and treat your team like people and be interested in their worldview and include them, I promise you, your productivity, they will become more creative, because how many of you know we can't do it alone? So that's what I want you to leave with, and just, you know, find your passion, find your why.
Amazing. Thank you. Find out why. Definitely. I think that's some good homework for us this week, everyone. Find out your why. Very important. Yes. You know, definitely very, very key, whether it's for, you know, entrepreneurship or whether it's to find a new career or new passion. Definitely find out why. Thank you, Miss Lisa
Take
Jones.
the assessment. Yes. I would like you guys to take the assessment on my website. It's free. Yes. Find out what animal personality. www.nowlead.com. It's a hyphen in there. You see? It's hyphen in there. Yeah. Just like
and
this.
Your book, Becoming a Better Boss. So for all of you, those aspiring managers, current managers, I recommend that you get this book, Becoming a Better Boss. Exactly. Yes. And maybe you can workshop it with your teams as well. Fantastic.
That's right.
Miss Lisa Jones, thank you so much for being with us today. We welcome to the audience, we welcome your suggestions, your feedback. Please give us your feedback, your testimonials. For Lisa, we want to give her, you know, a great reminder of how well she blessed us today. So please send in video testimonials, written testimonials, so she can just show them off, you know, that she really did a great service for us. Yes, she did a great service for us today. Thank you once again. Thank you to everyone. Please be on the lookout for the next session next week. We're going to be having Miss Beatrice Lopez. That's going to be exciting as well. And in the future, we hope to have Lisa back. And maybe we have your daughter with us, Miss Sassy Jones, to tell us more about her business. Why not?
Wow. Yeah, that's going to be a task. We'll work on. I think she was very interested when she found out I was doing this. So we'll see.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's great. I mean, there's a lot of young entrepreneurs in Africa with a lot of potential. I think you saw the stats about the future of online selling in Africa is going to be huge. So that's a market opportunity for her.
People. She loves the African people like I do. Maybe I'll talk to her and get back with you.
That'd be amazing. Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you, Africunia. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. And we're going to leave you with some wonderful music. Remember to follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. And we look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, please stay safe. God bless. And wear a mask wherever you need to. And take care of each other. Yeah? Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you, Lisa. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I feel like to cry, make somebody hold me. I feel like to die right now. Now my feelings, they control me. The empty don't go. I dey wish say you fit come back. My guy, you don't go. I dey pray say you fit come back. Naturals. Tell me what what you need to know. See, make I tell you many things I know. Yeah. Plenty gist, plenty story told. But BNT na my man, wanna story so, wanna story so. Yeah. My nigga BNT, you make tears for the eyes. So you making me just a cry. You know, say. So when I listen to your song, when I listen to your vibe, oh man, I say you try not be smart, no be choice. Yeah. Oh man, you breaking my heart. Yeah. Why you have to go?
My guy, I don't know why the good guys then they go. Why you be say now when we die yo? Now when the sun they blow, child it they pay me. Oh na na na, see what I found my eye yo. Hey, oh hey, I go miss you well. May God cover you with umbrella. Rest in peace, BMT. As you don't go everywhere empty. Oh hey.
Oh my God, why we say good people have to go so soon? It depend me. Say BMT, oh Matilla, Ajana Pula. BMT, why we say you leave us so soon? It depend me. When I hear say BMT, don't go. Hey. When I hear say BMT, it don't go. Hey. When I hear say BMT, it don't go.
I feel like to cry. Make somebody hold me. I feel like to die. Right now, my feelings they control me. BMT don't go. I dey wish say you fit come back. My guy you don't go. I dey pray say you fit come back. Away.
When I hear the matter water on my eyes, he hear me, say my bros, he don't go. Though I know that we come, I never believe it will come so soon. All your fans they cry, the lyrics when you drop no go die. The world miss you, my brother. Your song still they travel. Your matter now forever. Baby, your guy the holla. Rest in peace, street soldier.
Mama day for how they wait for the day when go tell pikin day. Oh yo, welcome back home. He don't come for you, they pray for you every day. Make you come back home with the peace and money. Now, nowhere to be fine.
I feel like to cry. Make somebody hold me. I feel like to die. Right now, my feelings they control me. BMT don't go. I dey wish say you fit come back. My guy you don't go. I dey pray say you fit come back. Oh wait.
Oh yeah, bad booty. Show me love like you don't know me. Oh yeah, bad booty. Show me love like you don't know me.
Give me a little. Nínú Lambo, I've been waiting in line for you to give me your time. Listening in silence all night. Give me a little if you mind. Àwọn ọ̀tá mi mú wọn sáré nínú Lamborghini o. Mo ṣẹ́ wọn lẹ́yìn, mo gé wọn lápá, mo lé wọn léré. Àwọn ọ̀tá mi mú wọn sáré nínú Lamborghini o. Promise I'm down for the ride. Give me another tonight. You know I'll be here for a while. Here for the ride, here for the ride. Promise I'm down for the ride. Give me another tonight. You know I'll be here for a while. Here for the ride, here for the ride.
Thank you, everybody, for being part today for the masterclass. I wish you a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.